Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today, what I have for you is just my good old weekly what I've been warming. We have lots of lovely wax here to talk about, so let's just dive right on in. I did a boatload of Scentsy this last week and then just a few other things that we'll do at the end of the video. I'm going to start with something that was a really nice combination. There is a new bar that launched in the holiday collection that is a licensed Snoopy product. This is Peanuts, a Snoopy holiday, and this has pine and some lemon and eucalyptus. And it's excellent with, if you clubbed this, lemon, sugar, and sage, which was really hot over the summer. It was an LTO scent of the month. So the lemon and sugar and sage that's in this, even though it's a summery smell, if you just want something clean and fresh any time of the year, I think this is a very all-purpose scent. And I wanted to try out this bar since I did my holiday haul last week, which was so much fun, of the Christmassy scent for our Snoopy collection. And it's so good, you guys. This has a brightness, it's good and strong, it's a happy smell, very uplifting. I would warm this anytime between now and January or February, even into March. It is Christmassy enough that it's festive, but it's also not so Christmas pine tree that you could not melt it a lot longer during the year. And as I already said, these two made an incredibly good combination. So that was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Next, I was just going through some of my pumpkin-themed items because we are now at peak pumpkin melting season. And as you can see, I've been digging out all my pumpkins. So I've got the Tangled Web and the Starry Pumpkin over there. Scary good. This is such a nice smell, you guys. It's no longer in the catalog, and I don't have it in my club, but I have a few. It's a beautiful spicy pumpkin pie with some smoked butterscotch and an extra helping of sort of red hot cinnamon in the background. Lots of pumpkin-y goodness, and it makes me very happy. On the same day, because I didn't want it to be overly saturated with too much of that spice, I balanced it out with the whole clam of brown butter pumpkin, and this is gorgeous too. And this is in the catalog. This is just a smooth, sweet bakery pumpkin scent, and I think it is absolutely fantastic. Next, I was thinking more decadence. Actually, this is what I'm doing today. Forever Fall is a more squash guts and bakery heavy with the spice and almost a stroopwafel delight kind of a note type of pumpkin scent. Good and strong, really happy, good performer, and it is cool today finally. Nice and crisp, good October day, and it's the first time in months, even though this is one of my favorite bars of all time, that I really had a craving for good old clove and cinnamon. So that's an alternate warmers with the Forever Fall. And I'm telling you, these two are great together because they're both good and strong and they stand up to each other nicely. Now, clove and cinnamon is in my top 25 of all time. I just love this bar. It is truly one of Scentsy's best. I think now that I have dabbled in other types of wax, I've gotten into vendors. Of course, I like, my old school Yankee and things like that, that I could confidently tell you that Scentsy's best profiles for me as a consumer for maybe 15 years now are their fruity, which that's not my favorite category, but I think they do fruity best, and they're spicy because they just knock spices out of the park. They do them so well. They're very classic. They're long-lasting in so many of their mixes, and I have not found a better spice bar than clove and cinnamon with all the wax melting and candle burning I've done for my whole life, to be honest with you. So I just thought I'd throw that out there because I was sort of dwelling on who does what best, and I think that might be a really fun video to do. Tell me, you guys, if you would like my opinion on my experience with wax and who does what best, bakery and perfume and woodsy and all that, because Scentsy is what I love the most. It's what I do for my job. It's what I collect, but I have now dabbled in so many other areas that I have learned there are certain vendors that do things well that have nothing to do with Scentsy's way of thinking about wax. I've always held on to my Yankee for the nostalgia factor. I think they nail that, and so on and so forth. So let me know. Is that a good video to make? Another thing, which is in my club, and it's one of my favorite bars. I liked this bar for years, but now that it's just in my club and it's become a little bit of a treasure, I am just loving farm stand pumpkin this season. So this is a caramel apple cinnamon stick and just a tiny touch again of spices. I think, as I just said, Scentsy does spices amazingly. And it just makes me so happy. Oh, yesterday was a day where I truly said, this is a day of rest. The day before I had driven up north with my daughter and I'd spoken at this little women's retreat camp thing, and it was an amazing experience, such a blessing. But you're tired after you do that. You know, we road tripped up and back because there's so much going on. I couldn't do the whole weekend up there. And Sunday afternoon, I'm just like, everybody go do something. I need a nap. And I had farm stand pumpkin happily wafting out of my warmer over here. And I got my little nap and I had my time with my tea and my coffee and my magazines and my moment. And it was just great. So this is a happy memory going with that and many other things over several different fall seasons, because that was in the catalog for a long time. It's not quite as strong as the Scary Good, and it's got a different kind of story to tell than, say, the brown butter pumpkin, which is similar to it as far as strength, a little bit different scent profile. Then today, I'm doing some gingerbread pecan waffles in the front room, and this is such a nice bar. I think I put this into my recommendations for top 10 for things in the catalog for fall or early fall. This has just a little bit of that gingerbread pecan waffly thing that's so good in candles and different things all over. And what I meant is Bath & Body Works pumpkin pecan waffles, not gingerbread pecan waffles, which is the name of this wax. Too many waxes, too many years, too much blur in my mind. But that pumpkin pecan waffle profile that Bath & Body Works started that, 20-something years ago, and people just loved it. There's just a whisper of it in here along with all the gingerbread and the molasses. And it's a really nice homey bakery scent. This was new last year, and it's one that I enjoy very much. Then this year, in our current holiday 5-bar bundle, you can get the caramel macadamia nut. This is a pleasant, just happy scent for the fall and the Christmas for bakery. It's just strong enough. Now, I put some of this in that warmer in the front room again, and I think it's just that I have my warmer in my front room right now placed in a bad spot, because this has performed just fine in the Florida room. It's performed fine in my bedroom. It's done okay in the dining room, but I have a couple of warmers that maybe just aren't the best in the front right now, and I didn't get a lot of throw out of this again. I don't think it's the bar's fault. I think it's my setup. So that one is a nice medium level caramely bakery nut smell. Very nice. Then Good Old Spiced and Spirited. I've been going through a few clams of this last few weeks. And this is sweet. It's got brown sugar. It's got pumpkin. It has sort of a bourbony whiskey note, and I find it very warming, comforting, and relaxing. I don't want to go through all my bars of it because it's not in my club, but I've been enjoying it a lot this particular fall season. Now my next layer of wax here, most of these are still being done out in my open concept-ish areas where I'll put some things in the Florida room, and then I'll do the rest in the dining room, front room, and the kitchen because they all kind of flow together. So I am returning to the Peanuts Snoopy's Autumn Adventure Bar. This is the standout for me of anything new released this fall so far. Loving, loving, loving this bar. There's this sweetness. I know that the description says it's got vanilla and I think brown sugar and then some warming spices, but it's not spicy. It's just sweet and complex and welcoming. And I feel like there's a little bit of pumpkin in here too, although they don't say it. And it's just the nicest bar, you guys. If you've resisted trying this because it's licensed, this one and the Snoopy Holiday, I think they're both very, very good. And even though the extra dollar's a pain, I'm enjoying them enough that it's worth it to me. So on the same day, I was craving some heavy-duty bakery to go with all the sweet, gentle spice. And I did my last clam, I think, of Cran Apple Crumble. This was in the catalog for quite a while, retired, I think, last year. This is an apple, cranberry, whipped cream, and allspice, sort of a streusel-y cake. And it has the apple and the cranberry, which is lovely. It's a very strong bar. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to cry that I don't have more. It was good, but that's all I could say about it. Then, here's one that thankfully does come back in flash sales, and I've swapped for a few with some friends. Breakfast in Bed. This is one of the best fall bakeries we've ever had that includes a raspberry note. So it's like a raspberry pumpkin Danish with a cinnamon sugar glaze, and it's gorgeous. Again, it has that hint of the pumpkin pecan waffles. It's a little more Danishy here, but it's similar. It's got that kind of warm, gooey bakery, and then the black raspberry. And guys, this is so good. If you've never had breakfast in bed and you get a chance to try it, I don't think anyone's ever disappointed in that. It's amazing. Then I did some of churro churro, and sometimes the churro churro I would mix with something else to either mellow it out or brighten it up a little. And this is in my club because it's one of my favorite all-purpose bakery scents. It's a spring, summer, really nice fried dough vanilla pastry with cinnamon sugar, and it's just delicious. Not super strong, but as I already said, good mixer and very nice in a small to medium-sized room. The next thing I have here is the spiced pecan cream. I keep just using a little bit of this at a time. It's very strong, nice and rich, sort of maple nut butter, and just, I don't know, thick. This is a thick, rich bakery scent with a nutty edge, and you guys will love it. It's good. Now, Golden Sunflower Fields, one of our 10 new releases for this fall. I really enjoyed this in August, and I enjoyed it in September, but I put it in my warmer with the wrong thing yesterday, and although it's a good smell, I just wasn't feeling it. It was too floral for me for the moment, because now we're into mid-October, and it just wasn't going with the air outside. For me, that's a big thing. I don't know if everybody's like me, but I'm honestly very sensitive to certain times of the year and how things feel. Like sometimes if it's just too far out of season, or it's honestly, if you like miss it by a month as far as season, it can irritate me, and that's what happened with this. So the Golden Sunflower Fields is a beautiful perfumey sunflower and apple scent. And it's mostly that sunflower perfuminess, and I think it has a little bit of cedar maybe. But I had Farm Stand Pumpkin in here, which I was enjoying, and then the Golden Sunflower Fields out there, they just didn't marry very well, so be it. And then there was a day where I'm pretty sure I snuck in some of my husband's forbidden coffee. He does not like For the Love of Coffee or any other coffee from Second and Spruce. I really enjoy this, so I just put it in a couple of warmers. And it's so good. This is like this nutty hazelnut, deep, toasty coffee. And the notes are house coffee beans, hazelnut cream, pie crust, and cinnamon sugar donuts. I just find this to be so decadent, and I had done enough to kind of marry it with other scents that he does like that he didn't seem to pick up on it. Spooky But Sweet was also going, and this is another one that I melt a lot this time of the year. So this is so good. It's a candy gourmand sweet scent. It's got maple, it has nutmeg, it's got some spice, and it's just a happy, perfect mid-October scent. So now we're going to go to things that were in the basement and or the bedrooms and the things that are vendor wax. So one day I finished up what is a favorite scent from Second and Spruce for me. I hope it will come back next year. Black Cat Stroll. This was a dedicated blend to celebrate someone in the vendor wax community that had passed away, and someone else had sent me part of a melt of her actual creation. This is called Black Cat Society, and this was from Salt Mountain Melts. This was poured 8/8 of 2024, and this is apple cider donut, blackberry, and sugar cookie. So I melted this in here to get a feel for what hers was like, and then the rest of this Black Cat Stroll from Second and Spruce I melted in the rest of the open spaces. Apple cider donuts, blackberry, hint of raspberry, and sugar cookies. Now, to be totally honest with you, I appreciated the original. This scent from Second and Spruce, I need this back at some point. This is so good, you guys. Apple cider and blackberry and sugar cookie, incredible. Absolutely incredible. I loved both melts of that because the mini loaf will do a couple different days for me. They're so strong from Second and Spruce. You don't need that much wax. One of my favorite things that I did in the last couple weeks. It was great. So then I had one day where I was just in the mood for something really deep and complex and woody, and that's Teddy Bees. So Whipstaff Manor made another appearance. Crisp fall air, cedar wood, crunchy leaves, hints of apples and fall spice, toasted marshmallows, and charred pumpkins. And this just smells so good, you guys. There's just something so old about this. It feels almost antique, not as though it's trying to be, but just the wood in an old house. Let's say maybe craftsman style bungalow era. That's always what I think of because there's all this beautiful dark wood in those homes. My grandparents lived in an older but cute little bungalow in Birmingham, Michigan. And when I was growing up, we'd go down there. And there are certain things that they just had old furniture. And there's something about this that even though it's supposed to be like all the fall things, what I get is this old soul with all the fall on top of it. And it's woody and dark and I love it. So good. And then to complement that, I did another one, which is Fall in Love. And this is warm autumn spices, fresh pumpkin rind, charred marshmallows, cedarwood, and pine trees. So this is a little bit woodsier than the woody and dark Whipstaff Manor. But they were so good together. And it was just that moody, like perfect, deep, dark fall scent thing going on. Very, very nice day. Very, very nice day. So then at this point, we've got bedrooms and basement things. I am doing a Klamath Business Casual today. Half of it or 3/4 of it's in the basement right now because I wanted to brighten it up. I just needed something that was different. And then I did a little bit of it in my older daughter's room. And so it's just a nice light men's cologne scent. I feel like it's got some different spices like maybe coriander and some pepper. And then it's got probably that vetiver kind of thing. I don't know, but it's really, really nice and relaxing. And as it says, a business casual. So it's not super soapy. It doesn't smell like shaving cream. It's just the scent of a nice, clean, well-dressed business casual man, which is what that's alluding to. Then the scent of the month this month. I told you if it had some time to cure, I'd probably enjoy it. And it's getting to the point where I'm getting a good amount of toasty graham cracker out of Have S'more Pumpkin. This is not a scent where you walk into the room and go, whoa, what is that? But I'm enjoying it as a subtle scent that accompanies others, or I've even done this in my bedroom, and bakery and the bedroom don't usually go all that well together, but I like this one. So if you haven't tried Have S'more Pumpkin, expectations shouldn't be that this is going to be your next headliner scent. It's not strong or super personality forward like, I'm blanking on the one that I like, Maple Apple Bourbon, which is like, wow, that's a lot of scent. Or even our new Buttered Pumpkin Dream. Those are more like, this is a scent that I know exactly what's melting. But if you like a room where there's just kind of a warm fuzzy with a graham cracker base, that's this, at least right now. And I'm enjoying it a lot. So the marshmallow comes out, the pumpkin's just smooth, there's not a lot of spice, and mostly you get that toasty, welcoming graham cracker, which we don't have a graham cracker scent right now, so that's pretty good. I very much miss graham cracker crunch, and I regret not putting that one in my club. So another thing that I tried from Second and Spruce when I was doing all of the lemon sugar and sage and the new Snoopy holiday bar, which has a eucalyptus and the pine and a little bit of lemon, I put a cocoa lemon and milk and cookies. I put this into my bedroom, and it was such a cozy, beautiful, elegant bakery scent and not so sticky sweet that, again, kind of like the s'more pumpkin one, it was good in the bedroom, not bad. So this is toasted coconut cookies, coconut cream pie, lemon drop cookies, lemon buttercream, and milk and cookies. And it was just sweet and very mellow. I thought there might be more of a brightness to the lemon, but it's just like this sweet, fluffy, beautiful lemon coconut thing with that milk and cookie base. It was delicious. And I have 2 of these mini loaves of this and very, very glad. I wish I'd gotten 2 in that same order of the Black Cat Stroll, but it is what it is. And then last but not least, I have done some more lavender and speckles in my basement. And then I did some in the front room. I am finding that the strength of her wax is perfect to scent my whole basement den area, and it's just the nicest thing. And in the front room, I could smell this better, even though I'm complaining about my warmer setup there. Cozy Barbershop, which my friend Alexis, this is one of her ride or dies from Lavender and Speckles. This is Barbershop, which is basil leaf, bergamot, and woodsy spice, blended with fireside marshmallow. This was so good. It's clean and warm and toasty. All at the same time, super relaxing. And I absolutely loved it. So if you enjoy Lavender and Speckles, you can go and check that out on her website. I think she has a special kind of new opening right now that's not like a pre-order, but it's something where you can order a set number of her items. She just started this, I think. And those will ship in a few weeks, and it's on a different kind of schedule than either her customs or her pre-orders or whatever. So I thought that was a cool idea. I haven't ordered anything more because I'm buried in wax, but you can get Cozy Barbershop if I read the list right. Pumpkin Patch. Now, this was from the fall pre-order, not available right now. This is pumpkin spice, rosemary sprigs, vanilla bean, bourbon, patchouli, and oak. Now, when I very first got the order from the fall pre-order, which is my first experience with lavender and speckles at all, this one I wasn't sure about because the rosemary was just right here. But as it has sat and it has melted all the different things and melded and mellowed and all that, the pumpkin spice, the vanilla bean, and the oak, they have kind of rounded out and tempered the rosemary. And I enjoyed this very much downstairs. It was very good. And then last but not least, I tried some of something called Equinox Drift. And this was nice. This is Hayfield, Red Apple, Falling Leaves, Ozone, and Barnwood. I think it's probably the ozone that has made this sort of soapy for me. And I'm getting more of like a Pert Plus shampoo apple than anything, so I need to be careful when I order from her in the future. I found this with Fall Surf also, which is another one that I ordered. There is a certain combination, because every vendor's different, that leans a little soapy for my taste. My favorite thing I've had so far from her is the Leaves and Smoke Lake. That was incredible. And I've had a few others that I really liked. But the leaning soapy fresh, not so much. So I think I need to stay away from ozone and too much of the apple that reminds me of products from the 80s and 90s that you'd put in your hair. You know what I mean if you lived through the Clairol era. So that is everything that I have been melting and enjoying in this last week. What has your favorite thing been from all the newer things from Scentsy, like new release since maybe August or September? And is there anyone, another video that I'm kind of kicking around doing, is there anyone that would appreciate a lineup of all the scents that are LTO that we have for Christmas? Because we've got the scents of the season coming. Of course, we have the discussion of all of the brick scents, which I already said in my little advertisement video last week, because we didn't get an early access kit as consultants this time, but they're all things I've had before. I'm still enjoying my holiday 5-bar bundle, the harvest 5-bar bundle. Is that overwhelming for all of you? And would you prefer if I did a video sort of dedicated to sorting out all the LTOs that are coming and going and all that? Or are you good because there are so many different YouTubers that do so much that your information is up to date? So if that would be beneficial, I would be happy to do that. But if you're buried in stuff and you don't need another video, that's fine. And I already talked about the other idea. So I think I need another nap because I'm still not totally caught up from this weekend. Have a wonderfully blessed day, guys. And I have to go and check and see if the little gingerbread house has sold out because I'm filming this at about 2 o'clock on the Monday where that launched. And I'm not going to get this particular year's gingerbread house because I got the last one. But I'm sure this is going to be gone in the next, if it's not already gone, day or so. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have a great day, guys. God bless. Bye-bye.